Hey guys, Ravel here, a geek at a place. Guess what, you guys? I have been doing this channel for one whole year now. Yep, today, so this week marks my 1 year anniversary of doing this YouTube channel, and it has been a lot of fun. And I want to thank everyone who's watching this, everyone who's supported me, all of my new subscribers, all of my long-time viewers and subscribers. Thank you for the support, guys. It's been awesome. So, to celebrate that, I want to ask one thing of you guys. I want to do a Q&A video here pretty soon, so in the comments below or on Twitter, if you guys follow me on Twitter, ask me a question. Ask me anything. Ask me anything you want. Ask me anything. It doesn't even have to be about games. It could be about me. It can be about random trivia. I don't care. Ask me anything. Well, that's the one thing I ask you. But today, as you can see by the title, I made a list of my top 10 favorite games ever made, and I want to share them with you. So to give you guys a better idea of the games I like to play, the games I played growing up, the games that shaped me as a gamer and as a person. So, without further ado, here is my top 10 favorite games ever made. Number 10, Bioshock Infinite. Really quick one, I'll just say a few things about it. You guys watch my Let's Play of Bioshock 1 from the Remaster Collection. I first played it on the 360, and it was just an amazing, well-told story in an awesome, fun, fast-paced shooter game with a very creative backdrop of a 1920s racist America utopian city in the clouds with plot twists that go down alternate dimensions. I really loved the game when it came out. I liked the direction that Irrational Games went from the very first Bioshock game, which I played when that first came out in 2007. I just wasn't that big. I wasn't crazy about it. I loved it. I mean, I liked it enough, but I really liked what they did with Bioshock Infinite. It's not my most favorite. Oh, and I should say that there are plenty of other games and franchises I can talk about for hours. I love the Fallout series, the Far Cry series, and plenty of other like indie games that I just don't have time to mention in my top 10 list. So don't think that these are the only games I've ever played or the only games that deserve my love. These are just my top. I like these games better than any other game for very personal reasons. So just keep that in mind. But number 10 is Bioshock Infinite. Number 9, Shovel Knight. Oh, what do I say about Shovel Knight? I own a copy for my Xbox One, my 3DS, and PC. I like it so much that I've bought it on multiple platforms to play it wherever I can. If you don't know what Shovel Knight is, it's an indie game that came out last year, but it takes inspiration from the 16-bit games from the Super Nintendo. It's a side-scrolling action platformer, kind of RPG set in a fantasy setting. You play as a knight whose main weapon is a shovel. It's got a wonderful story, very cute humor, but also very challenging levels. It's one of my favorite games ever. I love the retro look. I love the awesome music. I love the Truffle King part. I'm gonna put that. Just watch this Truffle King part for a bit. It's not very old. Still, an amazing game. If you guys can, I'd recommend you pick it up. You can probably find it for your system pretty cheap too. Not a full price $60 game. But definitely worth it. So, number 8. Don't Give Me Hate. I know this game just came out last year, but a modern game can still be a favorite game ever made, and I want to say Rocket League. Rocket League is one of my top 10 favorite games, obviously, but it's number 8. Just everything about it. For being an out-of-nowhere indie game, a sequel to a very, very little-known game. Supersonic rocket-powered battle cars or something? If you didn't know that, Rocket League's a sequel. Anyways, a fantastic little package, and the collector's edition is just great. It's $30 or $20 for the base edition online. Tight controls, fun gameplay. You can lose 10 minutes just as easy as you can lose 4 hours. I put it on here because of all that. Just a fun game. All around great game. Right now, if I just got home from work and I don't want to play video games for work. I don't want to take the time to get lost in some epic story of good versus evil. I just want to turn my brain off and play a game till I end up getting too tired. Rocket League. Rocket League is the game that I'll play. And that's why it's on here. I've turned some friends onto it. It's just great. And I'm actually enjoying the Rocket League Championship Series right now. I don't watch sports. I watch Rocket League on Twitch. Anyways, that was my really quick number 8. Pokemon or ass. Pokemon Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire. See, here's Omega Ruby. Here's Alpha Sapphire, which is Saph's copy, fittingly. Omega Ruby is, for sure, my favorite Pokemon game. And, okay, up until Sun and Moon, it's the most recent release, which is technically a re-release of the Game Boy Advance version, but that's exactly what I want to talk about. So, a little bit of personal history with me and Pokemon. 5th grade. Pokemon was everywhere. So 5th grade for me, I was 10 years old, 16 years ago. Pokemon was everywhere. You couldn't escape it. It's kind of, I mean, it kind of blew up again here now that Sun and Moon's coming out and Pokemon Go is a big thing, but oh my god, the anime was on TV, everyone had the cards, and apparently everyone was playing the game, but my dumb 10-year-old mind, I didn't own a Game Boy at that time. I didn't know Pokemon was a game first. I thought the anime came first. And the card game and video game were spin-offs of that. I mean, obviously I've since learned. So I didn't get into the video games until Pokemon Ruby, which was the first Pokemon game I've ever played. And a friend let me borrow on his Game Boy Advance for a week or so. I played it for a while. I loved it. Trico was my starter. And okay, so fast forward till this year, 2016. 2015 last year, I bought my wife a 3DS for Christmas. She loved it. She loves Animal Crossing. She loved Animal Crossing so much, she made me buy a 3DS. So I bought myself one, and I don't like Animal Crossing that much. But Omega Ruby is on the 3DS, and I played it again, and me and Green Man, he was my main, I kept him. Number 6, Spyro Year of the Dragon. Really fast on this one. Another little piece of history for you. Spyro the Year of the Dragon was the first game I played on the PS1. My PS1 there with the screen. And it was a good time. It was one of the first games that I played where I actually wanted to complete 100% the whole game. I think I actually did 100% the whole game. Made by Insomniac Games, who had gone on to do awesome things, awesome games. Spyro Year of the Dragon wasn't the first Spyro game. It was the third, and the last one Insomniac Games actually worked on. But it was the best. It refined everything they did in the first 2 games. The worlds were varied and fun, full of character and color. You can actually play as 3 or 4 other different characters other than Spyro. Just all around good time. One of my favorites. It's just one of the best games I've ever played on the PlayStation 1. Fantastic game, and I played it a little bit. I can't get my hands on a physical copy yet, but I've got an emulator. I've got other ways to play it. And honestly, for what it is, for a mascot platformer from the 90s or something like that. I think it's the 90s. Anyways, it holds up very well. I highly recommend playing that game if you ever get a chance to. If you have a copy, dig out your PlayStation 1, give it a shot. It's still a good time. Number 5. Number 5 for me is actually 2 games, but you'll see why I bundled them together. Portal 1 and 2. And I've got Portal 1 on the Orange Collection. The Orange Box? The Orange Box. Now, I'd understand if you haven't played Portal, but you have to know about it. You have to know the cake is a lie. You have to know why this is one of those games heralded as a piece of video games as art. I had never laughed my ass off before playing a game until I played Portal 2. And Portal 1 was just the same. Hilarious. Fantastic writing. a first-person puzzle platformer. There's very little combat. It's not a shooter. And I was one of those guys. I've always known about Portal. I knew about it when I graduated high school in 2008. I knew the song Still Alive. I knew the meme. I just never got around to playing it. And finally, when, I don't remember what it was, I found it on sale or something. I said, fine, I'm going to see what the big deal is. And I played it, and it was worth every minute. It's fantastic. It is really, really fantastic. Just go play it. Number 4. Minecraft is number 4. My number 4th favorite game ever is Minecraft. And I can talk about how no other game in the history, I'm making this claim, and I'm not the only one to do it, no other game in the history of gaming, the video game industry, in the past 40, 50 years of video games, no other game has dropped a player in the middle of this giant sandbox world that lets them break down everything and rebuild it into their vision. No other game has given gamers the abilities to unleash their creativity. How people can spend years, dozens of people can spend years building monuments is mind-boggling to me. I love Minecraft because back in 2010, 2011, I was really into Linux. It was one of the few PC games I was able to play on my crappy, cheap laptop. I loved it. So that part has always stuck with me. I kind of lost sight of Minecraft after a while, but when I got my Xbox One, I got 2 games. I got Destiny and Minecraft. I wanted to introduce my wife to Minecraft. We never really gamed that much together, and I thought Minecraft could be a game for her that she can enjoy playing with me, and she loves it. She still plays Minecraft. Okay, basically I used it as a way to justify, see, you can use this brand new console too. Minecraft is amazing. Number 3. You recognize that music, guys. You know what it is. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. I mean, okay, I can just nerd out on all these games. I can do all of that. I love the Elder Scrolls series. So don't think I'm just singling this one out because, okay, I admit this was the first Elder Scrolls game I played, but I've since gone back and played Morrowind and Oblivion. And I know those are also fan favorites depending. But so is Skyrim, and that's a testament to how good that series is. But Skyrim is my favorite. It's amazing. I've put in over 300 hours into the land of Skyrim, the northernmost province of Tamriel. Finished it 3 times, and I love the Elder Scrolls, not just because the games are good, the lore. The series is almost 20 years old, and in that 20-year time, the writers of the game have written like thousands of books to build the history, to build the characters, to build the lore, and the magic system, and the Aedra, and the Daedra, and the dragons, and the different planes of existence. It's awesome for a nerd like me who's a big fan of the Lord of the Rings. And Skyrim, so far, I feel, has been the best so far. And I can't wait for number 6. I mean, okay, I'm just rambling now. I love this game. Number 2. Number 2 is Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. And I really don't know, I don't need to say much about the details on that game. Everyone has played that game. That game is as old as I am, and I'm 26. It's an old game, but it holds up. I still play that game to this day, but the reason it's my second favorite game ever made, it's the very first game I've ever played. With the bright colors. Yoshi starts off on Yoshi's Island, Donut Island, or the dinosaurs everywhere. I love it. Okay, I know there were, Super Mario Brothers, that series, that was great. But I didn't play those till after I played the Super Mario World. But Super Mario World, that's why it's my number 2. I don't know what to say about it. You guys know the tremendous impact it had on the video game industry, the home entertainment technology industry. It was massive. But to a 6-year-old kid in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska, having the good fortune to be able to play a video game that fun, that fantastic, the first time he played a video game, it's something special. And I know I'm not the only one out there. And when I finally have kids, Super Mario World will be the first game they play too. And finally, my number one favorite game ever made. Just listen to the music. Halo Combat Evolved. Halo Combat Evolved. Wouldn't be an Xbox without Halo. I wouldn't be a gamer without Halo. Halo was the game that turned me into a video game fanatic. Someone who went from just being a kid who was lucky enough to have a PlayStation and played games to someone who is obsessed with finishing a game, knowing the characters, knowing what they mean, knowing where they came from, knowing what the meaning was behind these symbols, behind the history. And Halo was the game to do it because, yeah, it's a great shooter. It was an innovative shooter. It brought multiplayer shooters to the console, to the home console. It turned, the crappy controls of like Medal of Honor and GoldenEye. It actually had a controller to make shooters enjoyable on consoles. Okay, besides all of that, there was this massive story with a great amount of history, a good amount of characters, great aliens and enemies, and lore up the wazoo that a nerd like me could dive into and just yearn to find more about. About the books. What other video game would have made me buy books other than Halo to find out what the hell? I don't know if you guys remember Tech TV? I remember Tech TV. Tech TV turned into G4, which is now Esquire on cable. It's a cable channel, but Tech TV and then G4 had XPlay. This is before YouTube, which is where a nerd like me who is finally obsessed with video games could look at behind the scenes stuff, watch trailer breakdowns, see E3 coverage, see game reviews from professionals talking about video games. I wanted that all because Halo made me give a damn about video games. Just a massive impression that Halo and Bungie left on me. And I would not be here in front of you guys making all these friends, having such a good time with a Geek Out of Place without Halo. Combat Evolved, Game of the Year, only on Xbox. Look at that. And thank you guys. That was my top 10 favorite games ever made. Thank you so much for watching. It took me a long time to get this video out. Technical difficulties, personal stuff, everything. Thank you guys. Thank you for finally watching this. Here's for one more year, right? One more year. Going strong. Thank you. All of my subscribers, all of my new subscribers, all of my old subscribers. Zach, Spencer, Danny, Ben, everyone. Thank you guys. What's your favorite game? What are your top 3 favorite games? Let me know in the comments. I know there are plenty I missed out on. So there are some game genres I haven't gotten into, but I still love video games, and those are my personal top 10 favorites out of the hundreds of favorite games I have. So yeah, thanks again. Give this video a like. Let me know in the comments what your favorite game was. If you're new here, thanks for watching. Go ahead and subscribe, and I will have some more PS4 gameplay for you, and who knows what else. I got some good stuff coming, guys. Thanks again. I'm Ravel. This was a Geek Out of Place.